I was told that I have the peekaboo virus. And after they told me that, they actually sent me to the ICU. What's going on, YouTube? We're inside the Hollow City, inside a cold harbor, which is just up here outside of the plane of existence, to go over our first of two golden vendors. We start with Zanil, who has our luxury furnishing items, as always. The reason we talk about these items is you may want to A, put them in your house. You may want to also B, resell them in the future. Or I guess C, buy them, but for a future house that does not yet exist. Now, if you were looking at these items here, you would notice a Falmore theme, which is the blind snow elves, if you guys remember those. They're pretty niche, obviously, although I think the tent's pretty cool, but for 14,000, probably not going to be able to make a whole lot of money in the future, even if you were to try to resell these items. I'd say, honestly, that probably the best value here is probably these fences, because 200 gold is pretty good value for something that decently sized. Or these rocks, because, you know, rocks. And before we jump into our second golden vendor here, just a quick shout out to you guys for all of the recent love on both Twitch and YouTube. As always, we're always on the road to more YouTube followers. We do have a Twitch goal. We're really trying to get to 1,000 Twitch followers. So if you can, head to the description and check out the Twitch. But let's jump into our next golden vendor. And we actually start with our monster sets at the top. We start with Earthgore, which is one of the sets that I suggest that you guys all own. It's one of the more valuable, unique sets that I think that support roles should make sure that they have. You're going to get this bad boy from Bloodroot Forge. Whenever you heal yourself or a group member, you make this pool under them, removing harmful effects, and you heal the lowest member of the group for extra health. It can be pretty important for certain types of content to have this. This dungeon is not excessively difficult, so I generally would suggest that you just do this dungeon, but there are some of you that value your time and waiting in a queue because it's not a dungeon that's going to be farmed very often. So because of that, there's definitely going to be some of you that are just thinking, I could just buy this for 100,000 gold. And if that's your mindset, that's totally fine. I do recommend that you own this set, so it could be a good time to pick it up. And then we have the set that is the second most requested item for anything in the Golden Vendor. When I had asked you guys last time, what do you guys hope to see in the Golden Vendor? The second number one response, or the second best response, was Zons. You guys want to be able to buy Zons, and let's talk about why. Let's talk about why Zons is good. Zons is basically a good alternative to Mythics. It deals crazy DPS. You can see here that basically when you deal critical damage with a light or heavy attack, you have a chance to tether you to the enemy. You basically make this big burning beam, and it deals lots of damage, tons of damage. And as long as the boss doesn't run away from you, which is pretty rare for bosses to do that, you deal tons of damage to them. So that's step one of the equation. Step two is why do you guys want this? Obviously, you guys could go farm Scale Collar Peak. What's causing a lot of people from doing that? And it's not that Scale Collar Peak is a necessarily overly difficult dungeon, but it requires something that I think can be relatively annoying, and that's communication. Now, not to say that like the hardest mechanics in ESO require communication, but you know, when you have a random queue system and you're getting a bunch of random people, it can be pretty frustrating to try to put together a team of people together and then try to complete a dungeon like Scale Collar Peak, where there's so many one-hit mechanics. You might try to have to explain things, and if you don't have a mouse and keyboard, you're going to start typing stuff like this. You know, don't stand. You know, it's painful. I'm sure some of you guys can relate to the pain already, because there are a lot of people that are probably queuing just to get their random daily dungeon done, or for all sorts of other reasons. They probably don't know the mechanics, and trying to explain mechanics can always just be very painful. And because of that, a lot of you guys noted that this is the second most popular item that you've been requesting to see in the Golden Vendor, and for good reason. It's a great item to pick up, and it's one of the only monster set masks that I think is probably worth your time, because even if you were going to go complete Sans, you still, you might have to do it up to 3 times to get the light, medium, or heavy piece that you need. And then if you really want to, you know, try to get 3 random queues together, the odds of you doing that in less time that it would take for you to get to 100,000 gold is almost non-existent. I would say it's probably just best to just buy the one that you need. Next, we have the Nightmare set, which is just overall not as good as it may seem on paper. You might think when you deal martial damage, you apply minor maim to all enemies within 8 meters. That could be pretty unique, maybe for off tank, some type of, alternative type individual wearing that to, debuff all the people, but it's just, it's not helpful. There's really no situations where this set is helpful. It suffers from a couple things, that being power creep. This is from Spindle Clutch 2, meaning it's been out for, almost, up to 10 years. And it's not going to see a lot of utilization because of that, because other sets are just better these days. Also, minor maim is just not that helpful. Reducing their damage done is such a niche utilization as is. When you tack on the fact that that's all you're getting, it's just not very good. Next up, we have Ring of the Ranger, which is actually probably used a little bit more than you think it is. So there are some people who really benefit from the reduced effectiveness of snares applied to you by 50%. Some people really like that. To me, it just doesn't pair well with its 2, 3, 4, and other 5-piece set bonus, that being recovery, crit chance, max stam, stam recovery, and then obviously its snare effect. To me, it's just not very good, but is a little bit more utilization than I thought when I was looking into potential utilizations for this set. There are some people that really stand by this set being just a decent 5-piece set that you could throw on and not have to worry about snares as much. I was a bit surprised by that. It comes from Gratwood, so it's old. And yeah, if you weren't interested, pick it up. Not generally something I would suggest, though. Next up, we have Sword Singers, which also is another Overland set here from the Alakir Desert. You definitely don't need to buy this in gold. However, I will say I did make a fun build with this one time with a stage 4 vampire that would come out of invisibility and just whack people over the head with two-hander abilities. It's perfectly viable. It's a fun build, I guess. It did a lot of damage. Is it necessarily something you should buy from the Golden? No. Is it cool to use the, to two-handed ultimate, kill people from full health? I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool. So overall, I would not necessarily suggest that you buy this. 600 weapon and spell damage seems like a lot, but because it's so kowtowed to two-handed abilities, it's not very good in that aspect. Plus, it's 2, 3, and 4 don't necessarily pair together with it as much as some of the other more recent PvP sets, so not something I would suggest, but maybe if you want to build a bonk build, you go for it. Next up, we have Treasure Hunter, which is from Vollenfell. Now, this is one of those sets that you're going to struggle to find utilization for. It seems like it could be pretty decent on paper. Gain major savagery and prophecy at all times, increasing your weapon and spell damage critical rating by 26-29. It's a pretty good rating. However, when you factor in the fact that you could just slap on Mage Light and get that exact same thing, and you have to wear a full 5-piece set to get it, it loses its value pretty significantly. So from that aspect, a lot of people don't like this set. There are some niche utilizations that I've heard people prefer to use this set, and that is if they're playing something like a Sorcerer, maybe a Templar, where they don't have the ability to double bar certain abilities, and they might need to make utilization of both of those bars for whatever reason, needing, basically they would need major savagery on both bars. Overall, though, you're really grasping at straws here. Obviously, the two best things this week are both Earthgore and Zons. I think that those are two really fantastic items. Everything else is just a bit like, and maybe that's evident by the fact that they put the monster sets first. I know it's technically just based on whatever alphabetically comes first, but I mean, I don't think it's any surprise that, the best items are at the top. But everyone, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Now I feel like I should ask again, what are the items that you look forward to the most? If you could spawn in any specific item, as long as it's possible to spawn, don't say a trial set or I'll slap you with a pool noodle. What monster set, ring, or necklace would you like to see in the Golden Vendor? That way I know what items to keep a lookout for. That way I know, hey, when it's here, I got to let the people know, oh my gosh, the thing that you guys want to see, like the Zon's mask, it's here. The number one thing that you guys currently want to see is the Balorg's mask, probably for very similar reasons to Zon's. It's annoying to farm. When you get into groups that are trying to farm it, a lot of times you may fail just because communicating can be difficult in those dungeons. So now, besides those two things, what is like the 3rd, 4th, and 5th most requested item? Or you guys over that? You guys like, now that we've gotten Balorg's, because that was in not too long ago, what item are you looking forward to most now that you can get Zon? So let me know in the comments below. As always, we are doing our 3 giveaway drawings. All you have to do to enter is just answer that comment right there. Bada bing, bada boom. Second thing is just be subscribed on YouTube. Also, sorry. Follow on the old Twitch. As always, we will be adding our Twitch subscribers here soon. You don't obviously have to be a Twitch subscriber, but I just wanted to shout out all of you guys who have subscribed on Twitch, just because, you know, I don't use Twitch very often, so the support there has been fantastic. We're so close to 1,000 followers, and if you are following on both, you'll be entered for twice. And the third thing is a random gift card code to Amazon will be flashed upon the screen throughout this month. Just make sure you have an Amazon account to redeem that too, and you'll be good to go. And I'll catch you guys later. Have a great weekend. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jakeclips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.
Quick shout out to tomorrow, where we will be doing a live stream. We'll be flipping items, trying to earn back some gold again, because I wanted to try to keep it primarily on screen and stream here. That way you guys don't think I'm cheating. We've not done any gold or, you know, daily writs on this character either. So the 633,000 gold has been strictly from doing everything that we did on stream. However, unfortunately, we were running out of listings, so we definitely need to get it going again. So we'll be doing that tomorrow, a dedicated video on Sunday, and we'll see about Monday. It is a holiday. I thankfully do not work, so we'll have to do something fun that day too. I have to figure out what we want to do, but let me know if you have ideas, and I'll catch you later. Bye, guys.